Greetings YouTube. Today we're looking at a Svord knife, International Svord, and from New Zealand, and this is the Peasant knife, and it says made in New Zealand, and it says available only to first class peasants. Are you good enough? And then there's a little graphic of apparently what a first class peasant looks like. Now this is some of the most super simple. I cut the bottom off, but it just hangs up, just hangs on a hook. So this is the simplest packaging that I think I've ever encountered for a knife. And it is a very simple knife. It's 2 aluminum slabs, 3 rivets, which are loose, and I'll show you why in a minute, and a carbon fiber blade. Now, the loop that's loose, you hear that shaky sound, and these things do wobble because the rivets are actually not tight. And you can see the gap in there. Because they are the only construction here, and when it's closed, the blade itself takes up that gap and stops it. The actual stop rivet is still loose, but the other 2 are now tight. And when you open it, it does the opposite on the other side. So now, again, all of them are tight, the blade acting as the spacer between the 2 slabs, and now the blade pressing against that rivet means it's in place. And the only thing holding this closed is you. So if you're holding it like this, or you're holding it like this, there you go. Now you'll notice that there is actually a little grease on here. It's probably just Cosmoline, I'm not sure. I didn't wipe it off 100% because it is carbon steel. And it came out of the box with what I would consider to have a reasonably functional edge. It's nothing to write home about, but it did come out of the box, or I should say the sleeve, usably. So why did I pick this up? Well, I've never owned a Svord knife before, and I have seen one of the plastic handled versions. And the plastic handled versions, it's very much the same profile, but they're far thicker. It has a proper groove for the blade to fit into. There's still a stop for the back of the knife, the back of the blade here. This I don't know what you call it, limb maybe. I don't know what to refer to that as. And I wanted to try one of the Svords out, well, the less expensive models, before I went and invested in one of the plastic ones, because I did like the plastic one. It was a little bit smaller than this. The blade was a little bit, it was probably 3/4 of an inch smaller than this. Now you'll probably notice that the grind on this flat section in here that's got the darker color is not even close to be the same. I mean, it comes to here on this side, and it comes to here on the other side. So not even close. So this is a quick and dirty beater knife. This is not a high-end tool. This is not going to be something that you are going to want to impress the neighbors with. This is not going to impress the neighbors, though it is available in numerous colors. I picked the purple. I'm quite fond of purple. This, to my mind, is a great knife to put into a tool bag, or a glove box, or a tool kit, or a bug out bag, because it is so thin. Because it is just so thin. I wouldn't want to be using this thing long term. Because it's so thin, I think you're going to get major hot spots on your hand. And because of this, it's going to be really hard, in my opinion, to carry this on a daily basis. Unless you have a sheath that you can slip this into vertically, so just this section is out, so you can just grab it. Or maybe you create a sheath so you can carry it horizontally behind your back. In those cases, maybe you could carry this knife. I'm not positive. I know I will never carry this. This is very much an experiment to see if I like the overall build and design and shape. And I think this would be a great backup knife for, like I said, a bug out bag. This would be a good survival type knife. Obviously, you're not going to be able to fit this into, like, you know, a mint tin kit, but there are kits people have built out there that are larger than that. And if the kit would accommodate a larger knife, this could be one that fits the bill, because it is going to be able to be safely stored because it's folded So it's not going to injure or harm anything, and it's not going to have to be taking out extra space because of a sheath, because the whole thing is so thin. But it's large enough that you could still do general camp tasks with this. Making feather boards and feather sticks, you know, and things like that, preparing food, maybe putting points on things. Obviously, you're not going to be doing any batoning with this or any heavy-duty camp work, but you combine this with a folding saw, and you may be able to have all the tools you need in an emergency situation. And it is cool, and it's a heck of a conversation piece. Now, I am not sure about the legality of this in all places. I can open it one-handed, but it isn't smooth. It is kind of awkward because this is so long. But I can do it. But it is definitely not a locking blade. It isn't even a slip joint. The only thing holding this closed is you. So if it gets pushed this way at all and your hand isn't gripping it, it will close on you. So you got to be careful with that. I mean, that is going to cause you an injury. So you got to be careful when you're closing it. Yeah, but because it doesn't lock in place, that may open it up to legality being legal, because there's just simply no way to lock this knife in place. You just can't do it. So that could be a plus. But it could conceivably be considered a knife that can be opened in one hand. So that may be causing problems, say, for example, in Germany. I'm not sure about all the laws that are currently in effect in Britain. I know that they're currently going through some changes in their laws. So I'm not sure how that works. But this has been the Svord Peasant knife. I'm glad I picked one up, and I think it's quite interesting. And I look forward to having an opportunity to pick up the other model they have, which has, I believe, a plastic, and I think it's also available in wood. And I picked this up off of Amazon. I think I paid 18 bucks for it. And since I was bundling other things with it, I got free shipping, because you get free shipping $25 or more. So yeah, so if any of you have any experience with the Svord Peasant knife, drop me a comment and tell me how you carry it.